Good morning, everybody. This is Bad Weather Freak. I have another update, 2021 hurricane season. As my last video yesterday, I gave you an update regarding it became Tropical Storm Danny. It made landfall in the area of South Carolina and almost Georgia border. And it brought a little bit of rain, some gusty winds, but nothing major. It was a weak tropical storm. It barely got the name or it intensified to a tropical storm right before landfall. So it didn't really create a major impacts. Right now, as you can see, it's located right over Georgia, heading into Alabama. It's actually moving this way. But basically where the cursor is, that's where it made landfall, roughly between the Georgia and South Carolina border. Now let's go back to the sea surface temperature. This was updated 2 days ago. Yeah, the one that I showed you guys yesterday was updated on the 26th. This is updated as the 27th. You can kind of see that as a whole, again, the Atlantic and the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, it is warming up. Some cooling is happening also in the Pacific, and is expected as El Nino is not expected to form. So remember, when El Nino is expected to form, this will warm up and this will start cooling down. Well, this is the opposite of what's going on right now. That's why they call it La Nina. So it's totally the opposite, basically. So that's what is going on with the current sea surface temperatures as of 2 days ago. Now, I wanted to show you a few things. So let's start with the National Hurricane Center. This is 95L. Again, it's still about a 40% chance of rain. As it moves further west, if it can survive the islands and survive south of Puerto Rico, it may stand a chance of developing further in or further west and closer to the Western Caribbean. Another area that the National Hurricane Center has just highlighted, this is as of the 8 o'clock in the morning update as of today. This is a new area. And regarding this particular wave, it has a 20% chance of development in the next 5 days. It's moving west-northwest at about 20 miles an hour. It has a chance also of development. Now let's click on here. You can kind of give you an idea what the potential tracks that it may take. One thing I'm going to mention is from the forecasting models, it looks like this disturbance, which it could become 97L. 95L was this one. 96L was Danny, and this is going to become 97L. If the further south that it stays, the more chance it has to develop. Usually when the storms start tracking further north, that's when it starts turning and going out to sea, depending how strong the Bermuda high is. But as long as it can stay fairly south, usually they don't get picked up and basically out to sea. So again, you guys in the islands, you need to pay attention to, first of all, 95L, of course, is the closest, but also 96, and I'm going to show you why in a few more slides. But two areas, one new area, and then 95L. Now let me show you. Let me go this one. Okay, this chart here, you're gonna notice this is basically the wind shear. Wind shear is not good for tropical development. So what ended up happening here is, it looks like a mess, but this is what it means. You have Florida here, you got the islands, you got South America, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba. So the red obviously means unfavorable conditions. Right now, we have 95L and we have 96L in this area. And it's where it's located. It's located on favorable conditions. As they move west, and that's why I keep saying that if it survives south of Puerto Rico, it may have a chance. Now, and even though here it shows some favorable conditions on the Western Caribbean, these waters are very, very warm compared to here. Excuse me. Where it has a better chance of surviving. Now, there is a little bit of neutral area here between Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba, what they call the gap. And this here is going to give it potentially a little bit of a breathing room And as it gets closer to Florida coast, you can see how the conditions become more favorable too. This is where right now where Danny is located. So Danny's located where you have favorable conditions. So that's why Danny may continue to bring a bunch of rain and not necessarily flooding, but definitely some rain and potentially slight flooding. Let's put it that way. Okay, now let's move on to okay, we got this one out of the way. So this is what is going on with Danny. Like I said, a bit of rain, just a rain blob. Not really expected to become anything. You see a weak storm still. Not much going on with that. Now let me show you the GFS run, because it shows an interesting scenario. Again, this will be like 9 days out, so don't really pay attention to that. But you have the Bermuda high here. Let's move forward. You have see, let me actually go back a little bit. This right here is 95L. Now it's interesting that the GFS does not develop 95L. This is the new highlighted area, by which, like I said, it may be 97L soon. And you see how it fizzles out 95L. It starts developing 97L, and it starts getting stronger. Look at that. As it gets south of Puerto Rico, it almost clips Jamaica, 988. So it's definitely intensifying. Shoots the gap. Well, actually makes a brief landfall in Yucatan Peninsula. As it merges in the Gulf, then it starts curving north, and again, this is too far out. This is 9 days out, but it has a potential landfall in Louisiana. Louisiana, you guys don't need another storm. You guys had 5 storms last year, 3 hurricanes, and two tropical storms. You already had a storm this year. So you don't need another one. But anybody in the Gulf, in the Caribbean, we all need to, and I include myself in there because I'm in Florida, we all need to pay attention to this. But again, 9 days out, this is just too far out, way too far out. I wouldn't really take this and start freaking out, okay? Just be ready. Just be aware that something may be forming. Now, let's move on, because I believe the Canadian model also shows some kind of development. So let's go back. So same thing with the Canadian, fizzles out 97. No, not 97. 97 will be this one. 95. And then as it moves forward, it kind of see if you kind of tracked it, it came right through here. And then it picked up a little bit of a organization there, and then it made landfall in the Florida Panhandle. But again, it's not as bullish as the GFS. European model, a little wave, but nothing out of it. And let's check the Navy. Navy usually doesn't do much, but we'll see. Yeah, so. Yeah, so has it here. 97L has it here. So again, once you start getting this consistency, that's what tells you that something may form. And that's why I keep saying keep an eye on it, but don't really stress about it, because it might not even develop into anything. But this is 95L, satellite imagery of 95L. You can see definitely some thunderstorm activity. But still not, it's not organized. It's not well organized. So that's why it's showing fizzling out. But nevertheless, it's still trying. Let's go ahead and show you intensity. So this actually, it's interesting because few models are actually fizzling it out, but then some are taking it to the stronger. So they're a little bullish on this. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. But I don't think much of it is going to happen. So you can kind of see here. Again, fizzling out. Only 2 models have it past Puerto Rico. So it doesn't seem like as much of it is going to happen. But again, let's keep an eye out. Okay, this is like a further out scenario. You can kind of see how it's all over the place, basically. Too far out. We'll have a better idea once it passes south of Puerto Rico. Once it passes south of Puerto Rico, we'll have a really good idea where it's going. If it made it, if it survived, or if it's gonna go ahead and re-emerge and redevelop in the Western Caribbean. But right now, it's showing that it's not. So that's something that we need to, again, keep an eye out. But either way, this is what I have for you guys this morning. I don't want to make this video too long. There was just a quick update. Again, thank you for watching. Just keep your eyes out. I will keep you guys posted if any new developments. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at badweatherfreak.